Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Curie, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We're on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We're on day 118 of that journey, and today's a great one, learning to love yourself completely. Learning to love yourself completely. Supposed flaws and all of it, okay? Because it all has purpose. You know, the darkness has purpose, okay? It's not something that, it's something that we understand that is, we also have within us, but it is, we also have what is the eternal part of ourselves to always ping off of that. And that's how we guide ourselves. And we learn to balance those two is the yin and yang, is the balancing of the light and the dark. And that is the greatest way. You're kind of just flying in that neutral zone and bringing to every day the best stuff that you have in here, the wisdom that you have learned from both light and dark in here. You're bringing that out and you're offering that to the world in many different ways, So you are, you're so important. You're so important to the world. When you recognize who you really are, you're going to start wielding your energy much differently in your own favor. And that carries out, as we say every day, that carries out like a ripple into the universe. It's not just, it goes right out there and it affects all of us. It's like that butterfly effect. Energy is just like that. We're all connected in that energy. Okay. So learning to love yourself is going to take that knowing. And it goes like this. So many of us struggle with aspects of ourselves that we deny. We deny them. We do our best to hide our darkness, but it always seems to have a say in our daily lives, creating negative scenarios and prognostications in our heads at the very minimum, or outward havoc around us at its worst. And we all know what that's like, right? So when we finally have the courage to take the real journey, the one within, well, then we finally begin to shine the light of truth on what's really bothering us. And how are we treating that light within us? How are we treating that soul of ours within us, the real us, the real you? How are you treating that part of you? Okay, because that's the truest you. And knowing that darkness of yours, we inherited. It's it. We come to this dense place. It's there. It's there. And so we have to learn to navigate. We have to learn to be great navigators of what? Not of the outside world. No, we have to navigate our inner world and we have to learn from it and grow from it. And then we grow within. And the effects of that inner growth just transform other areas of our lives automatically. That it's just going to be the way it comes out of you. It's going to be your song. It's going to be your way, your particular beautiful way, because you've done the work on yourself, which is the most noble work you can do for this whole place, your family, everything. The most important work you do is on yourself. And then you have much to give. Okay. When we finally have the courage to take the real journey, right? What really causes all the strife, the anxiety, the fighting, the hatred, the punishing thoughts of lack and loss and martyrdom and vengeful thoughts, envy, and all the other lies that manifest themselves into our physical journey, it's always an inside job to ask these questions. Well, what is this you really want? What is it you really want? Jealousy. Jealousy. What do you really want? You have everything you already need. And these are the knowings that you counter these thoughts with, right? You counter these negative thoughts with truth. And eventually you're basically just remembering into your own self and saying, all these other things that I self-sabotage with are absurd. Why would I do that? Why would I be doing this to myself? These anxious thoughts that I have, these scenarios that I create out of those fears, those jealousies, that bitterness or whatever it is, you create scenarios from these emotions. And then all of a sudden you're acting upon them and they have taken you over. They have hijacked you. Your emotions have hijacked this cell. Hijacked. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? So we've got to balance that out and say, no, we got to bring light to all of this and see what it's really doing. Am I just suffering from low self-esteem? How do I counteract that? Am I not believing in myself? Some places there's a lot of self-doubt. What's preventing me from moving forward? Why am I stagnating here? I've been here so long. I feel like I'm never going to get out of this mental place that I'm in. All of that stuff. Okay. Well, it's a reversal. It's a reversal of the script. You got to change that script within. And it takes time and it takes practice. But when you're devoted to it, well, then it becomes the most important work you will ever do. The most important work you'll ever do. And you're not alone in doing it. You're bringing in the master. You're bringing in the master teacher. It is within you. That heaven within you is the teacher within. You take that darkness and you sift it through the master teacher and say, well, what would the teacher say to do? What would love say to do? What would Jesus say to do? Right? The master teacher. What were those words? What are they? Well, they're going to be a lot different than those ones that are self-defeating. Going to be a lot different than that self-doubt. It's going to be the opposite of that. It's going to be, man, my child, you are light itself. You are a star in the heavens. And wake up. You have much you can do. You have much to be grateful for. You have much to give. And when you start giving that much to give that I've already implanted in you, well, then your light is going to turn on. You're going to realize that your gift is meant to be given. And there's going to be no stopping that. And you take that in small steps first. And then it will unfold for you. It will unfold for you because it will unfold within you. The way forward will just be shown to you as you decide to go on the way. All right. The crumbs are already there. You just have to start going, oh, there's another crumb. I'm going to pick up that crumb and I'm going to be looking with the light on that path for that next crumb. I'm going to be listening for it within. And that crumb will show up and boom, 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 boom. Journey time. Great journey time. Okay. There's not going to be challenges along the way, but man, you're going to want to knock them out of the way because the force that's pulling you is so much stronger than obstacles. The force is so much stronger. You're just going to go, all right, what am I going to need to do? All right, let's get that done so we can keep moving forward and do every one of those with your quality. And you'll start seeing yourself building a new way. You're building it. You're creating it. You're painting it. You're writing it. You're cooking it. Whatever it is you do, get up and do it. Get up and do it. Be it. Move right into it. Move right into that role of whatever it is you want to do. And if that's what's nudging you and pulling you, then do it and see where it takes you. That's what we're here to do. All right. Have some excitement while you're here. Have some fun in the midst of all the garbage that they want to keep our eyes tuned to. No, we're retuning. We're retuning ourselves like a new tuning fork. And we're allowing God to tune us. We're allowing it. We're saying yes. We're saying, tune me up, God, because the whole world needs tuning. And that's really what's happening. We're all being attuned. The word atonement. Atonement. You know what that is? If you spell it out, it's at 1 mint. At 1 mint. You're at one. It's like everybody thinks atonement is like, oh my God, I've been such an asshole, God. Take it all away. I'm atoning for my sins. Well, yeah, you're just going, I'm no longer interested in doing that stuff. I'm going to be at oneness. I'm going to atone at one with the oneness, with the greater good, with the beneficial presence, with the embodied influence. We embody it. We embody that light and we influence just by being it. It's just your way. It's not something that like I said, you're not juggling and, shooting and swallowing flaming swords and doing all kinds of crap. You're just doing you the best way that you are listening for inside. Your guidance is within. Your guidance is within your sun. It's your internal central sun, your solar plexus. Okay. It's receiving that information. And it's just saying, shine this way. You know, that way that you love, shine that way. Shine. And you will attract back to yourself all the goodness that's held within that vibration of that journey, of that particular place you're deciding to go. This world is, it's like a big hologram of physical world. And our thoughts and our words and our deeds help us so much in navigating this dense place and all of the darkness that is held within it. We must use that flashlight of ours That third eye, that's our flashlight to see through the bullshit. And we're all seeing through it more than ever before. So keep seeing. Stay out of the reaction of it all. Stay out of the reaction of it all and do your truest job, which is to share your light. That's what takes it over. It's not we're gonna keep going in the same cycle with the same counter hatred. That's the game, man. That is just such an ugly game, isn't it? The Hatfields and the McCoys all the time. We connect when we connect in truth. That stuff is blather. It's all blather and theater, just theater, ugly theater, and they create it. So we have to recreate it with that heaven that's within each of us. We have to connect that heaven in each of us and watch what happens. Just watch what happens in your own personal world when you do that. Watch what happens. You're going to be so glad you moved back home with him. Okay. When you begin this drawing back of the curtain to your inner life, you'll definitely see some darkness. That's okay. In fact, it's only in the recognition of the darkness that we can begin to use the light to heal. Your light, your eternal light, the light that is always you. Every dark energy we own as humans has the possibility of the opposite choice inherently within it. It's when we begin to look at how these dark choices affect our relationships, dreams, and lives that we want to make higher choices for the same life issues, that we want to make higher choices for the same life issues. So here's a life issue. You got this old conditioned self that would normally handle it this way and say, no, I'm walking a new path. I'm handling it differently. I'm handling calm, confident, and I'm gonna nail it with kindness and compassion or whatever it is. Even just staying out of the way of something and letting old clouds just pass by you, old things, old places, old people that don't really clap for you or any of those things. You know what I mean? And it's just make sure that this new way of yours is going to attract a new tribe and in many ways. And so be open to that. Be open to that because when you surround yourself with those more like-minded people as far as consciousness goes and working to bring a better light to this place, well, you're going to learn a lot and you'll have much to give. But always just be you in all of it, the best you in all of it. And that always brings the best results. Always brings the best results. It's authenticity. So all the conditioning is, they say that, well, a lot of that is not authentic. A lot of that was just handed to me. A lot of it. And I have to look at all of it. You have to look at everything these days. You have to look at everything. But it's not outside. You can see the outside. You know what the outside is about now. We all know what it's about. Well, what's going on inside of you and what needs to be out of you so you're not attracting the stuff that the ugly from outside, that you're just going out and you're Johnny Appleseed of good stuff, and then watch what that circle changes. It'll be a new wheel in your life. It'll be a new wheel of karma for you, right? Because what do you bring to the world now as your consistent calling card is different than it used to be. It's not just so automatic and conditioned and all my old ego habits and all the old things that I used to do and stuff that just needed to be swept out because it wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving the life that I wanted to live. So these are the things we have to think of. And that's the journey of self-awareness. But self-love has to be right there. Has to be right there with it. That's the most important thing. Because when you're looking at those parts of you that you're saying, oh man, that's got to go, you're probably judging yourself and you're thinking yourself terrible and all those things. Well, you can get stuck in that because the ego wants you to stay stuck in the whole thing. No, that's the trick. You got to say no, because that's just not who I am. And that's your whole way inside. Nope, not who I am. I was that. I don't do that. I'm not there anymore. I'm moving into my light and I'm just letting that guide me. That's the way. That's the way. All right. We begin to see that it's really about us, that we have to view what we view as right and wrong. How we feel about others is always a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. If we are able to love ourselves completely, supposed flaws and all, we'll begin to see, to live a truly remarkable life of love. What you are is what you are able to give and project outwardly. You get it? If you don't give love to yourself as part of your daily path, how can you expect to give it away? Your cup needs to runneth over with love. How full of that is your cup? And how much of that cup do we fill with nonsense and stuff that really isn't bringing more of that new wheel into our life? We're staying in old stuff. Well, if you're happy with the results of what you're getting already, fine. But if you're not, you'll start walking in new ways. And then you're going to watch stuff fall off as going, oh, yeah, I know. Come on. This is way better. This is just way better. And it feels so much better to me that I'm just moving in. You're moving back home a little bit at a time when you do it, and you discard the old as you uncover what's really the oldest part of you, your light. Okay, I'm not talking about arrogant, self-centered, boastful self-love. That's not love. That's your ego telling you that you're somehow better than others, or more lies of your lower nature, or that you're lower than others, right? I'm talking about recognizing that we are all part of the same source. We come from the same home. We're all equal in the eyes of our Creator. This is loving the truth of who you really are. You're a divine piece of the miraculous. Never, never treat yourself or others as less than that. Have a healthy love for yourself and this fact. And this fact. All right? From this understanding alone, you free your need for competition with others, being jealous of others, wishing you were someone else, or thinking that you were somehow less than others. You are not. You are you. You are here to be the very best you, and that's all that expected and hoped for by the divine source. You are a gift to all of us. Be that. Give love your own unique way. It will always be enough. It will always be enough. So let your cup runneth over. Fill it up every day with that self-love in the mornings. I intend to do some things that make me feel that, and fill that cup up with, and you fill yourself with good stuff. You're feeding yourself great intel and information. You're not doom scrolling and watching everybody that is just still asleep, right? In the ego battle of it's really just the death of it. It's really just the knowing that we're all moving on as one family from that. And we're getting to see that. If we're here now, we get to see it here. So, and we get to be part of it. So what is your best part? We all know what it is. We all know what it is. If you're watching this, you already know what it is. So today's CTA, it goes like this. Today, begin the inner journey of untying the old knots of lies you've held on to as truth. Begin taking stock in your higher self. Learn its soft, subtle voice. Its soft, subtle voice. Ego's loud. Love is soft and subtle. So that's why we get quiet and things just bubble up naturally. We're overthinking, we're overdoing, we've got to give ourselves that sacred time, that sacred solitude. And don't be scared to be in it. The longer you do it, the more it just becomes sacred, and you'll know, and you'll keep it sacred for yourself. You'll keep it that sacred time and let everybody know this is one of my new boundaries. This is my sacred time. I just want to have some solitude and be there just in connection. And you can do that early in the morning is the best time, or really whenever you can take that break, do some breath work, let the negative go, right? And move into that calm center. And you'll feel that. You'll feel it. And the inner peace will be such a big part of that new self-loving place. It's the still pond that's always there, that we're throwing rocks in so many times with our ego and, making ourselves in a frantic panic. All right. So learn to slow your mind down by being still for a while each day, so you do hear it. It's very real, and it will guide you always in the right direction by your surrender to it and your discarding the reasons you once believed and the lies. They are no longer valid. They are the old story. Stop telling any stories of doom and gloom. Stop doing it. You are that speaker of yours. Those are prayers in the wrong direction. Stop telling the old stories of woe. You started creating. You're a creator. You move forward in creating. Okay, stop creating the negative scenarios in your head and living them out. Start creating the positive scenarios in your head and live those out. Move into those. Move into those. It takes practice, but you're practicing for yourself. Remember, you're doing this for you and for this connection so that it just is your light. Your light cell is now just brightening. You're brightening it. You're doing it. And then all of a sudden, that just is one of those influences, those ones that you've embodied, that light. You are an embodied influence. It comes off of you. It just comes off of you. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful thing. You feel it when you're around a person like that. Man, you just feel it. And there are so many of them out there that don't even know that that's what they're doing. It's just natural beauty. And one of the reasons I say that is because the other side is necessary to know, because so many of these empathic people that are out there, well, they're the ones that have the most anxiety and depression and all of that stuff, because they take the weight of the world on as their own problems. Other people's problems become their own. Other people's energy becomes their own. So if you're this empathic person, you've got to learn to guard your own energy and say, that's not my emotion. I don't have to take on that emotion. I'm able to help that without absorbing that emotion and taking it on as my own. I used to take on everybody's emotions, everybody's problems, everybody's stuff. And next thing you know, it's just, it depletes the hell out of you. It depletes the hell out of your own energy. So what it is that we need to give to others is the fact that they have it themselves, just like Jesus taught. You are it. So all of this light you possess, you have to direct it properly. It can't just be a leaky bucket of your light all over the place. And, you're giving, but there's nothing left for yourself. All right. So your cup is just, you're filling that up for yourself, and it naturally overflows. It's not something that you have to, rush out, like I say, and start, handing flowers out at the airport. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's just your natural, beautiful way. And it's all you have to do. It's all you have to do, but it's the best work. You're lightening your own cell in the body that needs a lot of the dark cells to become light cells. And then that's what heals this planet, is we all become, we're less of a cancerous dark cell. We lighten ourselves. And you know what that does for ourselves when we do that? We make that choice. We make ourselves healthier that way. It's a natural, healthy way to live, is in that energy of knowing that we are eternal light, and we have a challenge when we come to this dense place. But once we know that the challenge is just to bring more of our best self, then there's no other instruction book needed. It comes from here. Your instruction book for what to do, what to say in any given moment comes from here. And just let it out. Give others that attention they need in there. Give them a seed of light. And if you can't do that, you can do a silent prayer. If you don't know them and you see the struggle in front of you, but you can't really do anything about it physically, or you can't sit down and minister or mentor somebody, then the silent prayer. God, bring somebody to this person and bring light to this person's life and help them to remember. That's it. Simple prayers like that mean so much in this place. And when you do that, it's a love language. It's a beautiful, beautiful love language. Okay, so that's the CTA today. Love yourself, trust yourself, and have faith in yourself, your higher self. Even though you have all those energies of the opposite in there, we know what to wield, and we know that we wield it through all of it. Well, we sift out what no longer belongs, and we can take the wisdom of the darkness, because there's wisdom in that darkness that teaches us a lot. That's what we're learning from here, the contrast of dark and light. That's how we learn from our soul here in this dense place. It's the contrast between the two. But when we become do more of a self-mastery program for ourselves, and we learn and we grow with that, well, then that becomes it's a great journey. It's a great journey of self-discovery. Great journey of self-discovery. And not a lot of people take it. Not a lot of people take it. It is the road less traveled. But boy, I'll tell you, when you do take it, it's the most meaningful journey. Most meaningful journey, because you're going to pour into your family more. You're going to pour into your relationships more. You're going to pour into the world more of that light. Wherever you go and wherever you are, you're going to be a lighthouse, a beautiful lighthouse for everybody else. So go out and do that today. Go out and be a lighthouse today and help somebody off the ledge. Help yourself off the ledge. Love yourself first and move on from there. Much love, guys. See you tomorrow.